What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to TDPHINSTALK, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. Before we get started, hit that like button because the notifications are not going out right now. I haven't been live in like 5 days, so y'all know how that works. So hit the like button so YouTube will know to send the notifications out to our Phins family so they'll know we live because we got a great show for y'all tonight. I hope everybody's having a great week. Man, I miss y'all, but we are back, and I got a special treat for y'all tonight. All right. I got a special treat for y'all tonight. I have one of the greatest to ever do it backstage right now, waiting to come on, and I'm just holding them hostage backstage, y'all. But I got them waiting, man. We got none other than Alex Donno, man. If y'all don't know, my man, WQAM, Donno Daily, Locked On Canes, 5 Reasons Sports. If you don't know him, you better get to know him and make sure you go follow him on Twitter at Alex Donno. What's up, homie?
TD, that was such a nice intro that for a second I thought maybe Joe Rose was also backstage, like with the way that you were talking. Oh man, I have to come on after Joe Rose.
Oh
Too kind.
man, good. Man, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing real well, man. Trying to keep busy during the off season. You mentioned
Yeah.
Locked On Canes. I recently started doing that about 6 weeks ago. I'm having a blast. I mean, the Locked On network is so professional and such a big network of people. They cover
Awesome.
basically every team in sports, right? I get to
Yeah.
do the Canes show. I've been doing the 5 Reasons thing for a long time. There are great people there, and so there's always something keeping me busy, man. I mean, I'm a basketball and hockey fan as well, so I got the playoffs going in the background. Football, though, it's my number one love. So we're just trying to get through these off seasons.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. And those Canes, man, they better give us a big season this year, man. So for all you Cane fans, if you're looking for good Canes content, this is the guy to check out, man. But you know, my heart and soul behind me, the Miami Dolphins. You know all there is to know about the Miami Dolphins. That's why I brought you on tonight, man. I had to have you come on the show, man. And I'm excited about it because I love your work. I love your takes. And there's let me say this. And I don't mean to beat your drum and try to boost you up. You don't need that. But I just love genuine people. I love people who don't mind calling it what it is. You know, not gonna just say something to get clicks to make people feel better, but tell the truth. You
Right.
know, real opinions, you know, and I appreciate that more than anything. And one thing I've come to learn is that's what you offer, man. So I appreciate that. As somebody who listens to you, man, I just want to say thank you. And I'm pretty sure the listeners of TD Fans Talk, they'll appreciate it as well because I got a lot of questions for you in regards to the Fins.
Well, and let me pick up on that note real quick before you get into questions, because honestly, I tell people the same thing about you. I find your takes to be refreshing. And me, like, I seek out a lot of Dolphins content, right? Like, I provide some Dolphins content, but I watch, there's great people out there that I watch. You, Dougley Do Wrong, I watch you guys frequently. Our guy, Stephen D, Miami Sports Music, the list goes on and on and on. And, like, I like everybody. Everybody has a different style. But I do, like, I find your style to be very refreshing because you don't just drink the Kool-Aid. And I know that there's some people who want that, and we both get it. You get it more than I do, I think, with some of the Tua stuff. Like, I get it sometimes because I'm not completely sold on the guy, but I root for him because I'm a Dolphin fan. But there's some fans out there who just always want you to talk as if every year this is our year to win a Super Bowl, to get back into the playoffs, and this guy, that guy, and the other guy. And I try to keep it real. And okay, sometimes on Twitter I troll a little bit because I just feel like Twitter is a great place to troll. But when I'm doing shows, I always keep it 100 and I tell people how I really feel. So that adds a little bit more clarity to some of these things. But I appreciate that about you as well, because I know you say things sometimes that people don't always want to hear, right? Because they want to think 17-0,
Yeah.
Super Bowl every year, and you get some backlash for that, but I respect it.
Well, I got a confession. I have a confession for you, okay?
Hmm.
I'm using you tonight. I'm using you because I'm negative Nancy in Dolphins community. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to be negative for a long time. And I don't think you're going to be negative either because I don't believe I'm negative. I just tell the truth.
Right.
But I think I'm going to have to use you to tell the truth tonight. And it might be people may love it, but I'm gonna use you to tell the truth. I'm gonna try my best not to say anything negative tonight. I'm just gonna ask you questions and get your take on it because I know you'll keep it 100. So if it comes off negative, ladies and gentlemen, it ain't TD. I turned over a new leaf.
That's
I've
really
turned over a
smart.
new leaf, man. You know, I'll let other people be the negative Nancy's. I'm the most positive because we're going undefeated. We're going to win the Super Bowl, all of that good stuff. Now, there was a lot of stuff that came out in the media in the last few days, okay? Alex, one article that sparked interest of my because I used to be a negative person about the Dolphins, okay?
Right. No longer.
And there was a report that a few other organizations basically spoke about Mike McDaniel. They brought up the point that they didn't bring him in for an interview because there was nothing special about him. These are their words, not mine. I'm not negative, okay? There was nothing special about him, and the man hadn't even called plays. So, I mean, he doesn't even have experience being in a role right before head coach, according to the general manager that expressed this and said, we didn't feel like we needed to bring him in for an interview because there's nothing special that we see in him. What's your thoughts on that? Because Dolphin Nation has already dawned him the second coming of you know who. Don
Yes.
Shula, baby. This is Don Shula 2.0, and he might be better. That's how Dolphins fans make it seem. What's your thoughts on that report coming out?
Well, the big thing for me is it reinforces something that I felt all along since McDaniel was hired. It's an outside the box hire. Um, that could end up backfiring, but I'll say this without seeing a single game coached, I've liked everything about him so far for what that's worth, right? Because again, not a single game coach, not a single training camp. I like his ideas. I do like his resume, and I know because you brought up that article, and part of that article was the anonymous opposing GM who spoke about McDaniel emphasized the idea that hey, we didn't bring him in for an interview because he didn't call plays. So I guess they didn't feel like he met their qualification to be a head coach because he didn't call plays. That's not necessarily a deal breaker for me because I think there's I think he did collaborate in play calling. I think there's a whole lot you can do with game planning and
Yeah.
being a I mean, we've seen a lot of good play callers who get head coaching jobs and they fall flat on their face. So it's not like being a great play caller is some automatic qualification to be a head coach. I did find it peculiar when the Dolphins ended up zeroing in on McDaniel that nobody else brought him in for an interview. I did wonder why. But at the same time, TD, here's my thing. And I'm not saying that this isn't a risky hire because it is. I think anytime you get somebody who's never been a head coach before, it's a risky hire. And that's all the Dolphins have done, really. Since Dave Wanstead was the last guy who had NFL head coaching experience that they actually brought in. So it's risky. I will also say that I'm not going to defend, the hiring process from most NFL teams because there's just not a whole lot of creativity there. Like nobody ever, I mean, how many we see the same retreads getting a ton of jobs over and over and over again. So I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing that the Dolphins thought outside the box here because I do, again, when you talk about the type of blocking scheme, and I think some of the offensive ideas that McDaniel is going to bring, and you look at some of the players that they've gone out and gotten, like I really think that he could be dynamite. I think I have questions about the defensive side of the football as to how much Brian Flores had to do with their success the last couple of years, and if you can just take him out of that equation and expect the defense to be, the same as it was the second half of last year or better than it was the year before that. But I don't know, man. Honestly, I wasn't too alarmed by the comments from that GM. I'll put it this way, TD. If we had quotes from a GM saying, we brought this guy in for an interview and we didn't like what we heard, that would be more alarming to me. Like, they didn't even bring the guy in, right? I mean, if they had actually sat in a room with him for a couple of hours, gone through an interview process, like, yeah, we don't think this guy can do the job. I think honestly that would be more disturbing to me, because I think sometimes these front offices need to wake up and be a little bit more creative with the way they interview head coaches. So I didn't really think a whole lot of that report, but I did think it was a little bit weird that he only interviewed one place. So it's a risk. It's a risk to hire a guy like that.
Well, let me add on to it. Not add on, but let me add on another perspective that I'd like to hear your thoughts on top of that with him. Because I would comment on it, but I'm not negative anymore. But here's the deal though, Alex. Does it bother you though that he was like our fourth option? Like, 1 didn't work out, 2 didn't work out, 3 didn't work out, and it was him and Kellen Moore or something like that.
Yeah.
And it was like, this is all we have left. Take him. I mean, let's go down the list here. The first plan was Sean Payton.
That would have been nice.
The second plan, according to many sources, was Harbaugh, right?
Yeah.
Then we sat around and waited for Brian Daboll to make a decision. Like, we waited, okay? Sat around and waited for Daboll to make a decision. He chose the Giants. And then it comes down to, all right, man, we only had 2 options.
Right.
So did we really go outside the box?
Ooh, that's a good way to put it. I think out of the names you mentioned, if they could have gotten Sean Payton, that would have been a home run hire, right? I've got my reservations about some of the other names on that list, including Harbaugh. I got some reservations. I think Brian Daboll's a little bit overrated. But yeah, if they,
but they courted him. They courted him.
They did,
and next thing you know, New York's waiting. They've officially offered the job to Daboll. They're waiting on him to make a decision. We waited like 2-3 days. And
then people tried to make it sound like, oh, we didn't want the guy anyway.
Yeah.
No, I think they did.
He chose New York. And then all of a sudden, oh, well, we were still interviewing. No, they actually went to further interviews after he had accepted the job and said, okay, let's interview the guys we got left another time, like a third time.
Yeah.
That's what bothers me about it. Forget the general manager saying nothing special. We already know that. We're hoping that it's special, right?
Right.
But nobody cared to bring him in for an interview. And furthermore, he wasn't even our first, second, nor third choice. And I'm concerned. I know his philosophy. I know his style. Okay, and not to toot my own horn, but when I coach Little League, okay,
nice.
For 4 years, 3 championships. The 1 year we didn't win and whatever. But I know his style. He's innovative. He knows how to get through the players. He knows how to get you to jump through a wall. He knows how to make you do exactly what he says to do, so that you can prove that if it doesn't work, it's his fault and not yours. But do everything I tell you to do. And I love that in a coach. I feel like he's going to be a good coach. My only reservation with a guy like Mike McDaniel isn't the lack of experience, because you got to get some to have it, okay?
Right.
It's really, when things get tough, who are you?
Bingo.
We don't know. No one knows. When you're 0-7 or 0-8, like 1-7, like Flores was last year, who are you?
Yeah. Can he command that kind of respect too? Because we haven't had to see it, because
all we see is the best friend.
Right. And he's always been the second or third in command. So when things aren't going right, he had Kyle Shanahan to take the bullets, right? So Again, man, this is the thing that I don't like philosophically. I
Mhm.
like Mike McDaniel, and I think he could do a really good job. And just to build on part of what you're saying, I think he's also got a tremendous ability to explain complicated things in very
In a
simple terms.
simplistic way.
So I think he's a great teacher. But at the same time, I'll go back to what I said about the way the Dolphins have hired. And Stephen Ross hasn't even been in charge for this entire time because this goes back to Wayne Huizenga. I mean, you keep trying to bring in hotshot coordinators, or the one exception was Nick Saban, and maybe if he'd stuck around for a little bit longer, things could have worked out. But he hightailed it back to college after a couple of years. But other than that, they've only hired coordinators, and they've at this point hired now multiple coordinators who weren't play callers at the previous level, which was part of the reservation that GM had. You have to hope that this is lightning in a bottle, because if it's not lightning in a bottle, this is going to end up kind of being another Flores situation or worse, because Flores actually had, a winning record for 2 out of 3 years, right? That this just ends up being the bridge to the next guy. And I hope that's not the case.
Zero success in this format. There are two things that we have consistently done. Not gotten a guy who we guaranteed know is a franchise quarterback,
Yeah.
and not gotten a coach who knows what they are doing all around or have the respect already to where they can do certain things. Like, I'm one of those individuals that feel like Flores absolutely did nothing wrong, but he also didn't have the resume nor cachet to operate the way he did. Because if this was Bill Belichick in this building doing exactly what Flores was doing, no one would be calling him the worst person alive. They would be saying, yes, they would be saying this is the way it's done and get on board or move off. You see? So that's how I am with this situation. I actually like Mike McDaniel. I love Mike McDaniel, actually. I have faith in Mike McDaniel. I'm very hopeful for Mike McDaniel. You know, all those things they want me to be for Tua.
I'm the same way. I'm more bullish on Mike McDaniel than I am on Tua. But, and you know what makes this extra interesting is, God forbid, if the team does struggle during the McDaniel era, what's the fan reaction going to be like? Because it just seems like everybody wants to be this dude's best friend, right? It's like, no, this guy is so cool. He kind of reminds me of myself. He's an analytics guy. I'd like to have a beer with him. If things don't go well, I wonder how long of a leash the guy's going to have.
Listen, well, first of all, that depends on the front office, what their real plan is, because they could be screwing him over. For all we know,
they could be waiting for Sean
he could be a placeholder, knowing what they have coming down the pipeline. Yeah. They already had something coming down the pipeline. It didn't work because of Flores' lawsuit. So at the end of the day, they could just be using him as a bridge. But let's not operate in that area right now. Let's say this. If Mike McDaniel does not produce a winning team, I'm sorry, bro. Our fan base has already been infiltrated. This is the one man that'll be protected, and the blame will be put on as many people as possible. Let me tell you what you would hear. Mm-hmm. If we start out 3-10, whatever, just something bad, right? And I'm not negative. So Alex said if we start out 3-10, what then? Okay. So this is what you'll hear. You'll hear, well, the defense isn't the same. We need to find a good coordinator.
Right.
We need to find the right defensive coordinator. And this is where the hypocrisy and the sadness comes from. The first place they'll look is probably defense and say we need to next year find a good coordinator. And then we're going down that road because you don't have a defensive head coach. But there will always be an excuse of we need to find a DC.
Right.
We need to keep Mike because look at the offense thriving now, if it does. But look at the DC. But where was that with Flores when the defense is thriving, but we need to find an OC? And the reason why the hypocrisy will be at an all-time high is because This man endorses Tua. So therefore, he is the one person that we have to protect at all costs.
That's well
now,
said.
Another thing, Mike McDaniel didn't say that we could win a Super Bowl with Tua. He said we can win with Tua.
Just like they could win with Jimmy Garoppolo.
Thank you. The exact point I was going to make. Because you can win with Tua. Flores won with Tua.
Bingo.
I mean, let's think about it, ladies and gentlemen. Tua's record is Flores' record, just about, right? Flores won with Tua. So we can win with Tua. But what does that mean? And it brings me back to Shannon Sharp when he says, I think that they can win with Tua, but not the way they want to, Super Bowls and things like that. That's what Flores was saying. What do you think? Can we win Super Bowls with Tua, or can we just win with Tua?
I think we could just win with Tua.
Oh, you're so negative.
Somebody's got to be here, right? I mean, listen, it's not impossible. It's not completely impossible to win a Super Bowl with Tua. I mean, I've watched Trent Dilfer and Brad Johnson win Super Bowls. When Peyton Manning won his second Super Bowl, he was finished, right? Like he got carried by Von Miller in the defense. So like it's not impossible, man. But I think that you're gonna have with Tua, and I'm not necessarily completely comparing all the playmakers to one another, but I think you could have something similar to Ryan Tannehill in Tennessee, where he looks better. If he's got better skill position players, better O-line, because obviously Tua's the right side could still be a little bit concerning, but overall, and the left side is getting a lot better. So you could run into like a Ryan Tannehill type of situation where you're going farther and you're even winning some playoff games, but you're not finishing the job because, usually it takes elite quarterbacks to get over that final hump, right? And listen, so I know, listen, if Tua does end up actually, doing something incredible down here, I know that people like me, certainly not TD, because TD's not negative, but I know I'm going to get some people like, oh, see, I told you, man, you're an idiot. I told you the time. Guess what? I'm a Dolphins fan, and I'm rooting for him. So I don't care if you try to throw it in my face if the guy wins Super Bowls. I'm going to be celebrating with you because I love the Miami Dolphins. I love the Miami Dolphins. I'm just concerned about Tua's physical limitations, and I am concerned about him staying healthy for an entire season, because I know that some of the conspiracy theorists will say, well, actually, he was completely healthy last year and he only ever missed a game because Brian Flores was sabotaging him. The ribs were never hurt. The finger was never hurt. He's got an injury history going back to his time at Alabama. It is a concern. Now, I'm happy that the Dolphins upgraded backup quarterback, because Jacoby Brissett, who I expected to be okay last year, was not. He was bad. I think Teddy Bridgewater can very likely do better. I also think Teddy Bridgewater, I'm not saying.
Be careful.
I'm being careful because I know what you think I'm going to say. I'm not going to say that. Teddy's not going to beat Tua out, I don't think. But I do think that Teddy seems like a pretty good fit with his capabilities. Can probably run that offense pretty well, and I think he's a good, outside of not being left-handed, I think he's similar enough to Tua that he's going to fit that same offensive scheme. So if Tua does have to miss some time, Teddy's going to be better equipped to win games than Jacoby Brissett was last year. But no, man, listen, until proven otherwise. And also, I don't know if some of you just became Dolphin fans like 2 years ago and you haven't gone through, basically an entire life of disappointment the way that I have, because I wasn't born yet in 72 and 73 when they were actually winning Super Bowls. I was born during the Marino era. I was born in 84. So, I had some good times, but no great times. And I've seen 20, 21 starting quarterbacks since Marino. A lot of people getting hyped up about some of those players and it never working out. So part of the reason why people see me as being negative about Tua is I don't fall into the trap. Like, I'm not ready to anoint the guy until he's actually proven it and actually won something. Because I remember people hyping up Ryan Tannehill. I remember people hyping up Chad Henne, hyping up AJ Feely when they traded like a second-round pick for that bum. Like, I've seen it so many times where people want to get behind someone and want to assume that player is going to be great, and they don't live up to it. I hope Tua is the next guy, but I'm not going to throw any parades for him until I actually see something proven to me throughout the course of a couple of NFL seasons. So, you add Tyreek Hill, you add, and I like, we haven't even talked yet about Sony Michel. I think that's a nice pickup. I mean, you're talking about Sony Michel being your third running back. I think that's a really nice pickup by the Dolphins, right? To go with Raheem Mostert and Chase Edmonds, and Jalen Waddle's going to keep getting better. The left side of the offensive line's a lot better. So, hey, listen, if there's ever a year to show us that he really is a franchise quarterback, it seems like this would be a good time to do it.
So, I don't want to run out of time, so I want to start something with you because you made a lot of great points. I don't want to miss up on this opportunity. So I've been doing this with a few people lately. First, I have to ask you straight up: do we make the playoffs this year?
Yes.
What
I'm going to
seed?
say yes. Yeah, I think they're going to sneak in. I think they're going to kind of
Wild
finish
card.
the job. Yeah, wild card, week 17. You're going to have to win the final week. Yeah, I guess we don't have yet the dates for the schedule, but I think they're going to sneak in. They're not going to win the division, though, but they're going to sneak in.
All right, you did it. You did it. Let's do it. So, are we going to be better than the Bills this year?
No. We're not going to be better than the Bills.
Now, because I'm about to go through the playoff spots with you, okay?
Ooh, okay, okay.
So the Bills win the division.
Yeah, the Bills win the division.
Okay. What division is Baltimore in again?
The AFC
North. Yeah. So who wins that division?
I think Baltimore probably wins that division.
So I figure.
Yeah.
Houston, Colts, Titans. Who else is in that division?
Jaguars.
Jaguars. Who wins?
I'm going to say the Titans win that one.
Tennessee. Let's go Tennessee for Alex. All right. So the big dog conference. So you got Kansas City, you got Chargers. You know everyone in the who you got.
That division. Oh my God. That division is so freaking stacked. Because now and the Broncos have Russ now. It's like, and the Raiders, all the talent they've had. Damn, man. You know what? Because I'm such a big Justin Herbert fan. I think the Chargers. I think the Chargers are going to sneak into first place in that division this year.
All right. So does Kansas City make the playoffs?
Oh my God! I see what you're doing to me here.
Oh yeah, I'm putting everybody on the spot.
I'm going to say Kansas City makes the playoffs, but I think they're gonna have to probably sneak in the way I think we could sneak in.
That's perfectly fine. Cleveland Browns.
I'm going to say. I know obviously they just got themselves a
Watson plays the whole season.
Yeah, I'm going to say no because Cleveland always finds a way to ruin everything. I'm going to say no.
All right. The Indianapolis Colts.
I'm going to lean to no on them.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah, they're in.
All right. Denver Broncos.
How can I say Russ is not going to get to the playoffs? They're in.
Raiders.
They look like a playoff team, don't they? Yeah, I'm going to go yes.
So I'm going to.
Are we out of playoff spots?
Oh, we've been out of playoff spots. So let me name everybody that you. Let me tell you how many people you put in the playoffs.
This is a great. I put 9 teams in the playoffs.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and we're 10.
Didn't you hear they're expanding the playoff field this year? Everybody gets in.
Raiders. I know, right?
By the way, my favorite message has come in says, "Why does TD sound like a prosecutor?"
Hey, I'm putting I gotta ask everybody this, man, because everybody says we're in, but then when you ask them who's out, Nobody's putting people out. So,
and by the way, for the guy, Paul Glover says, "How is he saying no to Colts?" Because I'm doing mental gymnastics. Like I got to say no to somebody if I'm trying to get the Dolphins in.
and you still failed miserably, Alex. So,
I had to say no Colts and no Browns, and I still failed.
But this is where I come with the conflict. Like, are we better than the Raiders? Are we gonna make it over the Raiders?
We got to get a little lucky, honestly, and
do we make
we
it over
know,
Denver?
and I'm
All
just
of
like
these
I'm
teams.
just being real. It's the same thing. It's why and every year I do the thing when the full schedule gets released, I do that bit where I go through every game, win, loss, whatever. There's always going to be some you expect to win, you lose. Probably some you expect to lose, you win. There may be some of these teams
This
we
is the
talk
year.
about.
This is the year you can't afford to, though.
I know.
You can't lose. The Miami Dolphins sure can't lose a single game that they're expected to win.
Yeah.
That's the tough part about it. And every year we win maybe a game or two that we're not expected to win.
Yeah.
And this is the season, man, where the playoffs will be so hard to just to achieve that feat. It's like teams that don't make it is technically not a failure, but for the Miami Dolphins, it is. And here's why I say that. How do you get better than we are now? Like, think about it.
Get yourself a better quarterback.
Right now, they're trying to figure out how they pay Christian Wilkins.
Right.
And after that, you're going to have a whole bunch of young guys finally up for money. How do you truly get better than you are now if you miss the playoffs this year? What, you go get 2 first-round picks and that's going to be what you needed?
I think you've got to hope that the quarterback you have really pleasantly surprises you, or you find a way to go out and get somebody to do that job.
That's what it's going to come down to, Alex.
Yeah.
It's going to come down this year, the quarterbacks. At the end of the day, all of these teams are loaded. People look at us and say, Armstead and Tyreek, yeah, we're right there with everybody else. Most of these teams already had their Armstead and Tyreek and still got better.
Yeah.
They already had, they fit. Most people think Armstead is the only elite left tackle in the NFL. When some of these lines got 5 elite guys on them. So this is where, man, it is going to be a tough sledding this year to make the playoffs. But I think you should work on that, Alex, and tell me officially next time we speak who's not making it. So we're going to have some type of answer, bro.
By the time the next time we speak, I'm going to have the Dolphins in 11th place the next time. By the way, he's not getting negative. I'm getting negative.
That's Alex, man. I'm just trying to keep him off the cliff, man. I'm trying to get him to get us in the playoffs, and he got us. He naming all these teams and seeing, and I'm like, well, you gotta leave room for us, right? But no, man. I know you have to get out of here soon, Alex. If you could do us a huge favor, man, let everybody know where they can find you and what times. Because I'm telling y'all are missing out if you're not tuned in to this guy.
Well, first of all, thank you so much, man. It's honestly, I love being on because I love the job you do. And I'd love to have you on sometime, man. We will talk off air.
Absolutely.
And arrange something, maybe either for Thursday this week or sometime early next week. I'm going to be out of town for a few days starting on Friday. So if not later this week, we'll do something next week. And you guys can find me. I stream 2 times at least every day. I talk a lot more Dolphins on one platform than the other. So for those interested in Dolphins talk, it's been a lot of heat with what's been going on in the playoffs, but on 5 Reasons Sports YouTube, 5 Reasons Sports, I stream every day, 2 p.m. And I also, as TD mentioned earlier, I host Locked On Canes. I just started doing that less than 2 months ago. So if you guys want to check that out, it's part of the Locked On Podcast Network. You can find Locked On Canes, Apple, Spotify, Google, or on YouTube as well. We just launched the YouTube channel a week ago, and I'm blown away by how fast that YouTube channel is growing. It's nice. Really, really great to see everybody jumping aboard. And those are the main spots, man. 5 Reasons Sports and Locked On Canes. And everybody, make sure you smash the like button for TD if you haven't already, because I know how much that helps with the YouTube game. Smash that like button and subscribe.
Algorithm up.
Yeah.
But Alex, man, thank you for coming through, man. And I'm listen, man. It will be my pleasure to be a guest. I'm excited about that. We'll chat back, offline. Thank you for coming through, bro. Again, I love your work. And guys, listen, I'm not the negative one, okay?
It's all me.
No, but I appreciate you coming through so much, man. Again, y'all hit that like button for Alex. Make sure you go over subscribe. Make sure you follow him on social media, Twitter at Alex Dunno. Love you, love you, love you. Appreciate you, man. I'll see you soon, bro.
Love you too, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Man, ladies and gentlemen, man, there you have it. Hearing from the legend himself. Shake Money in the house. He said, be careful with him. He's part of the globalist love the show. Oh man, I'm gonna leave that between y'all. I don't know what you talk about. TD rhymes with negative. Ronnie, man, you gotta fix your rhyming skills, man, if you think that rhymes. But y'all hit that like button, man. But I just been sitting back lately, just thinking about it, man. This man, like, put the Dolphins on the shelf for a second. If you're a football fan, this is gonna be the most exciting season ever, man. Like, so many games are going to be worth watching. Like, I'm mad that the NFL are going to have so many of them on Sunday now. Like, I told y'all this before. There should be a doubleheader on Monday nights. They need to have at least one game on Tuesday nights. There needs to be a doubleheader on Thursday nights. One game. They're not going to do the Saturday because of college football, but do your normal Sunday games. And oh man, I just want to see more of these because it's going to be hard when and it's the AFC too. So a lot of these games going to be on during our games. I want to see how some of these teams are playing against each other. I've never seen the AFC loaded like this. Like, TV is just going to be epic. It's gonna be epic, man, and I can't wait, man. I'm gonna be watching, and y'all know me over here. I'm gonna be streaming so much football. Y'all know I stream Sunday morning. I pick between Sunday midday or Sunday night, depending on which has the better game. I do the Monday night games. I do the Thursday night games. So this year, man, as long as they schedule the right games, man, it's gonna be lit. It's gonna be exciting. TD, you gave your thoughts on Sony Michelle as yet. I haven't, but I'm gonna be honest with you. It's not much for me to give other than great pickup by the Miami Dolphins. You can never have enough good backs. I really want to ask the question, what is his role going to be? Is he going to be a starter? Is he going to be a backup? Because everybody automatically put him in a backup role. But I got to ask y'all, why? Why? I have to ask everybody, why? Anybody wanna tell me? Why automatically just assume he's going to be the backup? Is he not a talented back? Is he not a back that can produce? Well, Raheem is hurt, so he may be the starter. Forget even the injuries. The reason why I'm not like, oh my gosh, this and that for any running back on this roster, because what y'all have to understand, we're going to be doing this by committee. We're going to be doing this by committee. So running back is always going to be by committee here in Miami. It was Flores is playing, and it sure is going to be Mike McDaniel playing. So Chase Edmonds making 3 times his salary, and that's why Sony Michelle is even that much more of a steal. So I'm not really hood on it. TD, you going to be live tomorrow? Yes, I will be live tomorrow. We also got Larry K and Miss Phins as well. Thursday, we're gonna have a big show for the schedule release. That's what I'm waiting on. And I think y'all seen some of the early releases of the schedule. I think we got Buffalo and Tennessee playing week 2, if I'm not mistaken. I think week 2, we already know Buffalo and Tennessee. That's going to be a good game because Buffalo they can't beat Tennessee, and maybe this will be the time, but I don't know. So I would like to see Tennessee get that victory, hurt Buffalo. That's going to be a good game. It's just a lot, man. I have been avoiding the leaks. Yeah, all these leaks and stuff like that. I don't know, man. I've heard that we supposedly may be opening the season versus Buffalo in Buffalo. Oh, I don't want that. I don't know why everybody like that. That's just what I want. So we can see how we measure up. Oh my gosh. I don't want it. Now, if we win, that's great. But I don't want that. Why would you want Buffalo in Buffalo on week 1? At least get some real gameplay a few weeks in before you want that kind of heat. I don't want to be judging Tua after week 1. I don't want to be judging the man from week 1. Because and another thing, another reason why I don't want them week 1. You lose to them week 1, what is it all for? At the end of the day, you're going to have to get through them one way or another if you're going to do anything successful. If you're a wild card, you might have to deal with them in the first round. You might have to deal with them to make the playoffs. If you want to do something special, win a Super Bowl, you're probably going to have to go through them. Why I want to get my answer right away? No, let me warm up to the season. People understand what we trying to do, work out the kinks. Remember, this is a brand new offense, first time ran by everybody just about on it, except a few running backs. Somebody said, but what if we win? And then it's all good. But at the same token, we'll win 4 weeks from then too. Because I'm telling y'all, we're going to win games. We're going to win games. CD, this is football, not icy hot. No. I know. Beggars can't be choosers, okay? I get that. I'm just saying from a personal perspective of what I would prefer. I don't want to see them week 1. Didn't 2 years ago we played them week 1? And then last year we played the Patriots week 1. Isn't it the Jets' turn? Like, gosh. Because if weather, TD, man, regardless of weather, y'all think the reason we be losing in Buffalo is because of the weather? Y'all got to stop that. At this point, we got to stop making our own excuses. We do not lose to Buffalo. The weather has had nothing to do with us getting ran off the field by Buffalo. Let me say that again, ladies and gentlemen. The last 2 years, weather has absolutely had nothing to do with us getting ran off the field in Buffalo. So anybody like, yeah, and it'll be favorable weather conditions. That has not had any positive or negative impact on us the last 2 years. We have gotten blown out every time because what excuse we got when they come to Miami and we get blown out? What excuse has it been when they came to Miami and got blown out? So it ain't got nothing to do with weather, ladies and gentlemen. At all. Matter of fact, I'll do you one better. For some strange reason, for many years, Miami has actually played well in weather. We tend to always go up to New England and stuff and win in weather. For some strange reason, we play the Jets in weather for some strange reason. So I'm sorry. And matter of fact, Buffalo's the kind of team, they don't even play their best in their own weather. Buffalo actually prefer better climates. That's why New England ran the ball down their throat last year. They're a passing team. They would prefer not to play in the climates. They would prefer better weather. They don't feel like the weather is an advantage for them. So no, I don't look at weather being any sort of reason that's making me like, yeah, play them early. Matter of fact, I would prefer rainy snow against Josh Allen so he ain't throwing the ball all day. Chance to play any Buffalo you choose, better weather. TD, fam, I have a chance to play any Buffalo. I'm choosing weather. No, I get it. I would rather play in weather like that, but that ain't the reason why we've lost to them. It's not the reason why we've lost to them. And like I said, in bad weather, Josh Allen doesn't play well. So that's better for us. TD, I heard Thanksgiving game against the Lions. Enjoy your show. Go Phins. The Dolphins, I would love to play on Thanksgiving. It's been so long. I would definitely love to play on Thanksgiving. They got to give us more games, man. Like, give us some. We might have a Thanksgiving game. That would be sweet. That would be sweet. I don't like that it's out of conference, but that'll be cool. And then it's the Lions. They should suck, right? Hopefully. I hope so. Losing to them, oh my gosh. End of the world. End of the world. Man. We need to play Buffalo when it's raining or in snow. Exactly. They actually don't even play well in those inclement situations. But that's neither here nor there. At the end of the day, if we're going to be a beast team, it doesn't matter who we play, when we play them. We got to be able to go through them. But I'm going to be honest, y'all. There's a part of me that feel like, man, we should be great this year. But then there's a part of me that have never seen the AFC loaded the way that it is, man. I mean, 11 teams got really good quarterbacks. 10, 11 teams got number 1 and number 2 receivers. I mean, half these teams got excellent O-lines. The only, and let me tell y'all something. We went to go catch up on offense. But the only area that we may have a slight advantage, and that's if we play consistent long term, is defense. People living in this fantasy world like our offense is all of a sudden the best offense in the NFL. No. Y'all seen Bleacher Report's offensive rankings after free agency in the draft? They ranked us 21st. Now, when I went through the list, I put us around 14th, but they had us 21st. I went through the list on all the offenses and I said, we're 14th, but they got us 21st. I said, I think we're better than the Titans now, even though they have an unstoppable force. I think we're better than the Patriots offensively because they were a better offensive productive team last year. I think we're better than the Steelers offensively. These are the teams they had ahead of us. Again, I'll have to go look at the rest again, but those are 3 teams I know they had ahead of us that I feel like we're better than. Somebody said 14 is a playoff team. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Because what you have to understand is you can't go 14 as a playoff team and go 7-7. Because out of the top 14 teams, 9 of them are in the AFC. If you go in the power rankings of the NFL, 9 of the top 14 teams are AFC now. Some would argue 10. Some could argue 11. Some could argue 11. Top 14 teams in the NFL, it'll be safe to put it around 10 of them in the AFC. So you can't say 14th is playoffs based off of 7 in the AFC, 7 in the NFC. Phins power ranking is 23rd. Yeah, I was talking about offensive. I think they had us 21st. I don't think it was 23rd. And this is why everybody like, why do you make everything about Tua? Here's the reality, ladies and gentlemen. Let's cut the crap. This whole season is going to come down to Tua Tagovailoa. It's just simple. The team will go as far as he can take us. It's that simple. This team will go as far as he can take us. Because we are now, from a roster standpoint, in contention with a lot of other teams. Some of them have better rosters. Some of them we're right there with, and we're slightly better than a few. We're in the mix from a roster standpoint. But the scary thing about being in the mix from a roster standpoint, a lot of times it starts to come down to whose quarterback plays better. So when you got head-to-head battles, and that's the issue with Buffalo. That's why if we could beat Buffalo, it's going to take a lot of great coaching. It's going to take literally like we have to out-coach Buffalo. Because mano, we don't just have the better roster. Best case scenario, it's tied. But so you have to out-coach them. Figure out how can we really throw them. Like we have to. Because position by position, we're not better. Holistically on their O-line, they have a good O-line. We got a good O-line now on paper, right? At least they've proven it for several years. Wide receiver core, they got weapons. Diggs is just as productive as Tyreek, if not more productive. I mean, and this is what it comes down to. What he had last year, 1,225 yards. It's pretty much the same as Tyreek. Pretty much the same. Yep. Identical. Running game, I don't care how many running backs we got by committee. Josh Allen averaged by 8 yards a carry himself, and they got some good running backs now. But him alone, he averaged. Knox is just as productive as Gesicki, if not more productive. At least from a touchdown standpoint. Let me give y'all an example. Knox had 49 catches for basically 600 yards, but he had 9 touchdowns. Gesicki has 73 catches for 780 yards, but only 2 touchdowns. I got to ask y'all, which would you rather? Gesicki had 180 yards more and 2 yards less a catch, by the way. But Knox putting up 9 touchdowns and Gesicki putting up 2. And Knox can block. You're going to take the touchdowns. You're going to take the touchdowns. This is why I say, is our offense better than theirs? You'd be lying to yourself if you just want to say no. But then when you compare the quarterback position, unfortunately, at least as of right now, it ain't even close. Because even if Tua became the passer Josh Allen is, right? Just hypothetically, even if he does, he'll never become the runner he is. He'll never run as a quarterback like that and get a first down at will whenever he want to. So then you say, hey, but our strength, we got a great defense. But Buffalo was the number one defense in the NFL last year, holding teams to the least amount of points in the NFL last year. It's going to have to come down to coaching. Tua's going to have to elevate his game to Josh Allen's level. We going to have to coach great. And the defense got to be able to do what they do. The defense is going to have to be able to perform on the same level that they perform. But the reality of it all, we're the ones doing the catch up. While they're already there, fine tuning and tweaking, like in the draft and free agency. I can't wait for this year to start, man. I hate that we got 2 months now. Technically 3 months. I just hate it. It's like feels like it's forever now because this is going to be the most exciting season, and a lot of people get to prove themselves worthy this year. Can Tua be that dude? Can he prove himself worthy? If he does, he's going to earn it. We shall see, man. Anyway, I've been live for an hour. I'm not going to hold y'all long. Just wanted to come chat it up with y'all tonight. So grateful for Alex coming through. Amazing stream. Appreciate you, man. We're gonna keep it moving tomorrow. I will be live. We're gonna be talking about a few other things that have happened over the last few days. And then we got to start our off season, man. We got to start our off season player bio, the expectations, all that good stuff. And then I got a special treat coming y'all way soon as well. Thank y'all. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. What's up, EM? I see you, homie. TD, real quick, go look at Dolphin Twitter. Why? What's on Dolphins Twitter? And by the way, what is Dolphins Twitter? Just Miami Dolphins Twitter account? I don't even know what y'all be talking about. Y'all be like, on Dolphins Twitter. I don't know what that is. Let me see here. Yeah. It's the verified account. Got y'all. My bad. Y'all give me a second. Miami Dolphins. Are y'all talking about the deep ball to Tyreek Hill? Where Tyreek. Why y'all do that? Why y'all do that? Why y'all tell me to go look at a pass from Tua going deep to Tyreek, knowing that since he underthrew the ball and Tyreek had to wait on it, make a sandwich and wait on it to come, y'all know what that was going to do to me. Y'all know that was going to make me stream for another 3 hours. I'm not going to let y'all get me tonight. I'm not going to let y'all get me tonight, man. I don't even think that was that even Tyreek? Was that even Tyreek, man? Yeah, man, it's all good, man. Listen, man, Tua's out there having fun. They out there running a few plays. Listen, man, I'm not even finna be getting on none of this mess, man. Longest game time comes and that's in stride. Or in game time, Tyreek is that open that he can wait on it. Completion is a completion. At the end of the day, just like in the previous years, I've always told y'all, a completion is a completion. Yeah, he underthrew it, but at the same token, did it get completed? All right, it is what it is. We know who we have at the quarterback position. I'm not gonna trip on it. All right. Nah, somebody said, nah, TD, you tripping. That was the best pass of 2022. Yeah, he caught it. He caught it. Tua cocks back, throws it deep. Tyreek waiting on it and jogs in. Ain't no defense on the field, none of that stuff. Hey man, it's all good. Y'all tried to spark me up, man. It ain't a big deal, man. It's all good. We just want to see them in real game action. What happens at that point, okay? I'm disappointed in the Dolphins film crew though. They usually edit those out. They usually make sure it's the perfect situation. But maybe that's all they can get. That's the best they can get. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that's the best they can find. I have no clue. Um, it is what it is, man. But I'm glad they out there putting the work in, working together. EM says, send it to me, TD. Let me try to forward it to you, bro. Give me a second. Copy link. Yeah. All right, I'm sending it now, man. I just sent it to you, EM. It ain't that big of a deal, man. I'm trying to turn over a new leaf and be positive about our team, man, because we're gonna win a Super Bowl this year. We'll see. Anyway, man, I'm finna get up out of here. It's 9:30. I'm gonna see if the wife wanna do a spiritual devotional or something like that before we head to bed. But I will see y'all tomorrow. Back on it tomorrow, regular schedule. We're gonna be on it. I appreciate y'all coming through tonight. Y'all hit the like button on your way out. Love y'all, appreciate y'all. Tomorrow, if we have time, we're gonna try to open it up and have a good conversation all together. All right. Anyway, TD Fans Talk, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. Love y'all. See you soon. Peace. I am out.